Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and thanks for stopping by. I know it's been a minute, but I've been so busy in the past couple months and now things are finally kind of settling down and I have more time on my hands to make videos. So here I am with a video for you all today. I've also been vlogging lately. I'm doing 12 days of Vlogmas, so if you haven't seen my first vlog, which I posted a couple days ago, make sure you go watch that. I'll put the link below and I'll be uploading some more. I recently just launched my personal blog site, which is autumnjcohen.com, so make sure you head over to the website and subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber so you can get all my good blogs. And so I really plan to be blogging and vlogging and making videos more, so hopefully you'll see a lot more of me in that aspect. Today we're going to talk about dating with purpose. I saw this post on Instagram that I was really inspired about, and although I'm not going to focus on what I think the post was actually talking about, it still inspired me to talk about dating and dating with purpose. So I wanted to kind of hit some key points on that and just bring, you know, an encouraging message to you all today. So I hope all is well. Make sure that you're subscribed and you give this video a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And like I said, you'll be seeing a lot more from me. And we're going to get right into this video. Love you guys. So I've been single a little over a year. I made a year in September, and when I say I have grown so much since then, it's just been amazing to see the growth and how far I've come, because I was in a really dark space after we broke up. And so just transitioning from a place of unhappiness to really being happy and full of life again, and knowing who I am and being in love with myself and not worried about when I'm gonna find a man, or when a man gonna find me, I should say, is a really good feeling. Nonetheless, I think it's very natural to want to date and to want to be with somebody, especially when your end goal is marriage, which is ultimately my end goal. I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to start a family, I want to do all those things. But as of now, I am just waiting, you know, on the Lord to open that door for me, and just allowing him to work in my life and focus on the things I think he wants me to focus on right now. And when he's ready to, like I said, open that door, I know he will. So I'm not really worried about dating and all of that right now. Since then, like I said, nothing has really come across my, you know, my plate that I can really take seriously and really do dating the way I want to do, and that's with purpose. And so when I saw this post maybe a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, it really inspired me to talk about this, because I think it's something that I've been constantly telling myself for the past, let's see, March, and this is December, the end of the year. So for the past 9 months, I've been constantly reminding myself to date with purpose, to date with purpose, to date with purpose. So the post said, when you learn to love yourself, your taste in men changes. And I was like, wow, that is so true. Like, when I tell you that is probably like the testimony of my dating life, especially post breakup, completely true. And it really encouraged me and pushed me that mindset that when your taste in men changes, you really learn how to date with purpose. You're not just entertaining any and everybody. I think the purpose of that post was talking about self-love and self-worth, and how when you really master those things, your taste in men does change, and that's a testimony in itself. But when you're talking about dating with purpose, I think there's a lot of different areas that you can talk about. So I just wanted to talk about how I'm going about dating with purpose, and the things I think you should have on your agenda when you're talking dating with purpose. When I decided to open myself back up to dating, I made a commitment to myself, and I said that I wasn't going to entertain anything, meaning a situation or any person that was going to waste my time. And we all know how men can waste your time when they have no intention of really dating you, when they're not being serious, when they just want a quick hookup, or they want to appease their loneliness, or they're bored, or they're entertaining you plus 50 other women. That's wasting your time. And I said that I would not allow anyone or anything to do that to me, because I know how serious I am about dating. I don't want to just... like, why? Like, if it's not going somewhere, why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we talking? Why are we, you know, if talking is even the right word to use, why are we why are we entertaining each other? It doesn't make sense, honestly. And so when I made that commitment to myself, I told myself, no matter what, you're going to stick to that. And as long as you stick to that, the right person will come along. And I really feel like that's true. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm not with anyone. That's part of the reason why I haven't hooked up with anyone. And there's been plenty of opportunities to do those things, but that's not what's on my agenda. I think the first thing is saying, hey, I'm serious about dating. I want something that's real. I want to be with someone who's not going to waste my time. I want to be with someone who's not going to play me. I want someone who is intentional. And so I think when you come to the realization that that's what you're ready for, it's first making that commitment to yourself that you're not going to allow anybody to waste your time, and you are not going to waste anybody else's time, because I don't want to make this a one-sided thing, because women can do it too. I think there's men out there who are very intentional about dating, and there are women who use and abuse. So don't think it's just men. It goes both ways. When you are really ready to start dating with purpose, and you know that marriage is the end goal, and not saying all of this is going to progress overnight, because everything is a process and it happens in phases, but when the long-term goal is marriage, and when you're ready to be serious and intentional, I think it first starts with making that commitment. So making that commitment to yourself that you're not going to waste your time, your energy, your resources on someone that's not serious and or intentional. So I think that's the first. So now you've made this commitment to yourself. You said, I'm not going to entertain anything or anyone that is wasting my time. Because sometimes I think it's easy for us to do that when we're lonely, and like I said, when we desire, women are big for that. We desire relationships. We desire partnerships. We want to get married. We want to do all that stuff. So sometimes because we have that desire to be with someone, to appease our loneliness, we entertain things that we know aren't good for us and that we know aren't going anywhere. But once we decide that we're really going to be committed to this and that we're not going to entertain anything that's wasting our time, the next thing we have to do is define what we're not going to entertain. So it's creating standards and boundaries for yourself. And when you create those, it's a lot easier to stay committed to not entertaining things that are wasting your time. So for me, for example, I knew I wanted someone who was going to be consistent. I knew, and when I say standards, I don't just mean like your deal breakers. You know, is he saved? Does he have a college degree? Is he attractive? Is he tall? Is he, you know, kind of like what you want in a partner? Because I think that's one thing, and I think it goes into this. But when I say standards, at least standards for me is like the type of things I want to see while he's pursuing me. So is he respectful? Does he take me out on dates, or is he asking me just to come to his house and chill and watch a movie or something like that? So are we going out? Are we going into the public? Is he consistent? Does he pop up every blue moon? Do I hear from him once every week? And not saying you have to talk every day, but is he consistent? Is he really showing me that he's interested? Because popping up every week or popping up when you're in town, texting me and whatever when you're in town is not showing me that you're interested in me. So is he consistent? Oh, one of the big things that I am like, oh, it kills me when men are just about sex. And I think that's really one of the reasons why I am single, because a lot of the men that I've come across, they just want your glitter box. And I ain't got time for nobody who just wants my glitter box, because they will entertain you, they will whisper sweet nothings in your ear, they will make you feel like you are the woman of their dreams, and then they get that glitter box and they gone like they were never there. And that, I'm just, I hate it. If a man gives me a vibe that he is just about sex, or he brings up sex and he knows that's my boundary, I will cut you off in a heartbeat, and you will never hear from me again. Don't text my phone, don't call me, don't FaceTime me, don't do nothing. Don't say hi to me if you see me walking by, if you know all you want from me is my glitter box. I don't have time. So there's your deal breaker list, which I think is one thing, and that's, like I said, is he saved? Does he go to church? What's his relation like with his family? Does he have a job? Is he attractive? What kind of personality does he have? Do you want him to make you laugh? Are you okay with someone who's passive? That's your deal breaker list. Does he smoke? Does he drink? Etc. Then, like I said, you have your standards. How do you want him to pursue you? And then, like I said, if you've set boundaries, setting those standards and boundaries is important, because that's going to help you eliminate who's being intentional and who's not being intentional. So now we've made our commitment, we've defined what we're not going to entertain, so we've set our standards and we've created our boundaries. Now the next thing is to make sure that you and the guy that you're talking to or are dating are on the same page. So you want to make sure that the lines of communication are clear as crystal. I think this is where a lot of relationships go wrong, because the communication is off, they're not on the same page about what's going on, stuff is getting lost in context and in the mix, and things just go downwards from there. So making sure that you're on the same page is very, very, very important. Sometimes I think men can be afraid to define the relationship, and I think we as women can be afraid to ask them to define the relationship because we're afraid it's going to push them away. But if he's being intentional about pursuing you, if you are really trying to date with purpose, you shouldn't be afraid to ask those questions. He should be able to tell you what's going on, where you guys are at, what he sees you, how are things moving along. That shouldn't be questions that he should be afraid of and shy away from. So I think defining the relationship is very, very important. Are you talking? How long are y'all going to be talking? I'm not saying he has to have like specific answers like, oh, we're going to talk for 2 months, blase, blase, blase. But the point of dating and courting is to see if you're compatible with this person, to see if you see yourself going long term with this person, and ultimately to see if you can marry this person. Now, I know people's timelines for this are different. Some people date and court for 5, 6, 7 months or something like that, and then they go get married. Some people date for 2 or 3 months and then they know it's time to cut it off, and I think that's very important. And that's why I say it's very important to be clear about what's going on, because you can get stuck in a situation where you thought you were dating with purpose and then something's falling off and he is now kind of stringing you on and he knows he's not that interested anymore, but he hasn't cut the lines. And so I think when you're clear about what's going on, then you can know, okay, this is going somewhere or it needs to be cut. I think one thing that also kind of can go back to when you set your standards is listening to what he says. If he's told you that he doesn't want to be in a relationship, do you think that's somebody you need to be talking to? And not saying, like I said, not saying that being in it, like talking and then you're going to be in a relationship the next day. I know that's not going to be the case. Because the talking process is one thing and going into the officially dating thing is another process. But if he's stated that he doesn't want to be in a relationship, 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So I think if you're in a situation like that, you really need to just be focused on being friends and not expecting it to grow into anything more at that time. If you just focus on the friendship and not worried about dating him at that moment, because like I said, he's not in the place where he wants to date, and I think it's admirable that he can be honest about not wanting to be in a relationship. So I think if he's told you that he doesn't want to be in a relationship, you really just need to focus on the friendship. And when I say friendship, or when I say focus on the friendship, I'm saying that very loosely, because you can think just being his friend will eventually get you all to the stage where he's ready to date, and that might not be the case. So being his friend really means just being his friend. It's not with the intention that you all are going to end up dating, because sometimes guys do that too. You're friends and you want it to grow into something, and he may go in a completely different direction. But if you go into that friendship and you're just focused on creating a true, genuine friendship and not creating expectations about dating along with that, then I think you prevent yourself from getting hurt if you make the choice to be friends with him. Because at that point, if they say they don't want a relationship, then you have the option, and sometimes I think it's smart, you have the option to put that on your list as, okay, I'm not going to entertain that, because you know ultimately that you want a relationship. So I think it's being very careful in that situation, whether you're going to entertain that in the sense of focusing on the friendship and not having expectations that it's going to turn into a relationship, or choosing to not be friends at all because you know that you like him and you would like it to go somewhere, but you know that's not where he's at that point. And then from there, like I said, I think it's, if you are in a situation where you're talking to someone, it's making sure that you are continuously defining the relationship, because I don't think it takes forever to decide whether you want to like officially be with somebody. And you know, some people take their time when it comes to dating, and I you know, I'm all for that because I think it's about setting a great foundation as friends before you pursue a relationship with each other. I think those make the best type of friendships. So there's nothing wrong with that. But if you look up and it's been 9, 10, 11 months and y'all still aren't dating and y'all kind of do boyfriend and girlfriend things and all that type of stuff, something's not right there. So make sure you're continuing to define the relationship. Make sure that you're being clear about what's going on, asking where do you all stand. And like I said, if he's being intentional with you, if he's really being intentional with you, he'll be able to do those things. So making sure you're clear and on the same page, I believe, is the next step when dating with purpose. So of course there's a million and one things. Like I said, I think this conversation is one that can go in a million different directions, but those are some of the things that I am doing to remind myself to date with purpose, and things I think are very important and have helped me along my walk through my singleness and as I observe men who try to pursue me, whether their intentions are good or bad. And so setting those standards and creating boundaries has helped me tremendously in eliminating men who are a waste of time, and then making sure that if we are talking, or even honestly before we begin talking, that we're on the same page about what we want, has helped me as well to eliminate men that just don't align with what I'm looking for at this moment. And so I think it's very important just to kind of consider those things. And like I said, you may have different rules and, you know, or how you go about dating with purpose, and I'd love to hear how you define dating with purpose. So please be sure to leave your comments below. But see how these things help you, like I said, especially once you make that commitment to yourself that you're not going to entertain things that are a waste of time. How are you doing that? So I'd love to hear what you have to say, and thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in my next video.